Hey guys, welcome to CR&E Morning Brew. It's October 28th, 2021. Come on live? Yeah. Okay, so not much going on this morning yet. Let's see, I'll be right back. Grab a couple things. Work on some stuff, I think. Hey, Broomy Rail, how are you? Thayer Subdivision, morning guys, afternoon. Hey Lee, hey Darren. Artie, what's going on, buddy? I got with the breakfast donuts. Yeah. So, that was I don't feel like messing with some stuff today, maybe. Or up this, that's good. Take my little wet board and mini panel out of the way. Wire up some more leads to this. Try to work on some soldering, maybe. I don't know. Gotta get some work done on this again. Thing. Starting to get on my nerves now. I want to. Oh, hey, Wilmer. I really want to try to get some progress made here. I think I'm spinning my wheels. What I want to do at some point is I want to wire up a bunch of these edge connectors that I'm using for the tortoises. I have a bunch of them, so I'm going to use them, but going forward I might not use them. It's just an added expense. It's kind of nice, but I don't know that it's actually necessary, So I may or may not go with them. So use that. And this leftover wire from forever ago. Video is right now. I'll be right back. All right. Sarah's Attic of Treasures. Morning. How are you? So, on track Tuesday, which is okay. Got some information though, like on these button boards and mini panel. I actually ordered a mini panel. So I'm gonna continue moving forward with some of this stuff. So I'll try to keep green. If I could get it to work that way. This here I'm going to use as the common. Use green. Well, my green LEDs, maybe. I don't know if that's going to work. And then I can use this orange maybe to simulate red. I don't have any. I guess I do have. I have red wire, but it's not really. I'm using it here. I have a thinner red wire somewhere. I guess it don't really matter. I try to color code things the best I can, but it don't always work. This damn workbench is getting more and more crowded. Let's see what Soldering wires on my switches and LEDs. Yeah, I might have to bring you up here. So I'm wiring these LEDs right. Already doing already. I should have said maybe I'd do some work on this today. So screw these on these. Let's see here. Hey Rick. Mark Arnold, how you doing? Sorry if I missed anybody that's in here, I appreciate it. 2 and 3 are done. Oh, you mean the videos? Yeah. I gotta do another update. I kind of did one the other day when I update 22, I guess. It was me testing out the co-op area there. I at work. When I did my schedule, hey James. When I did my schedule, Freddie's in there. Hey Fred. Well, you're really moving along on replacing them turnouts and stuff on your 4x8, which is nice. I'm not a big fan of the old style, the side mounted, I guess, like old Atlas switches and all that brass stuff. That I mean, they were good for when they were, new. There's just better stuff out there now, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I've been back in this since 2017 or something when I started. So I didn't have any of that stuff. So I started out with like the Pico stuff. Although I did pick up, there's a pain in the neck, a couple of side-mounted Pico turnout controls for my climb area because I don't want anything hanging down underneath. So I think that they will work. I haven't really looked at them super close as far as how they wire up, but it kind of looks similar to what the Atlas side mounted was. Because I was actually looking at that originally. Just purchased a couple of those, like the newer version of the old side. I don't know what they're called. I'm going to call them side mounted. Where the turnout controls on the side instead of like a tortoise that hangs underneath. Because on my climb going up, I don't want to have anything hanging down in the way. Because I don't know how I'm going to hide that climb in some of the areas to begin with. All right, this is getting me nuts. Get out of here. All right. But, so we'll see what happens there. In theory, it ought to work, but you know how things happen within theory. Jason. James. Just go back to the chat, see if I missed anybody. A couple minutes. So 1, 2, at least pop in. That's okay, Darren. I appreciate it. Martin Searsma, hello. I missed you before. Arnold, let's say, export projects. This will be more interesting. Well, I don't know if this will be more interesting, Mark, but. Spring switch. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm gonna bring. Maybe. The StreamYard was acting weird the other night, man. I was trying to post something up there. It kept telling me I couldn't post it. It was just I don't know if it was one time was a link, another time was a comment, but it wouldn't post for whatever reason. All right. Let's see what See what I already got to say.
I haven't got much to say. I wish I was getting paid for the hours that I'm doing on my layout the last few days. Plenty of overtime.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. All right, so I'm going to say the red one is 1. It would be like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the black one would be 8.
Yeah.
So 4 is the common. In this case, 4 would be 1 and 2 would be for my LEDs, and 4 would be to the track.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that.
Maybe. Or
I
something
mean,
like that.
have you got a electronic breadboard?
No.
Hey?
No, I don't.
Because they're handy to experiment on. Because what I did with my breadboard, I experimented with the wiring on that. It makes it a lot easier before you actually mount it. But you try to keep to the same standard with your colours that you have on your tortoise switches, because later on down the track, especially with trouble finding and troubleshooting, you know those are the only 2 wires that you need to switch around.
Because
that's what I found when I was pairing up the switches.
I could always buy. I was thinking about buying just like thin wire, like this communication wire, and just buying it, or buying something similar size, just in like red, green, and maybe white. Use white as, like your common or whatever you would call it, and try to do red for the red LED and green for the green.
Yeah.
But I'll make do with what I have for now. I could totally do a different color. So I got like yellow, blue, green.
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, no, I don't get paid on YouTube. I do it for the love of it. Sharing my IDs.
I have enough like subs. I just don't have the hours.
Oh,
I don't have the time to put in the effort to get the hours up. You know what I mean?
Look, I've been doing it, trying my best too, but I mean, all of a sudden it just dropped to nothing. G'day, Joe. How are you? Morning, evening, all. I usually buy my wires from JCar, and they got 8 different colours in the pack. I get a fair bit done out of them. I can buy them individual colours as well, but they don't come in grey. And I find that just the right size. It's multi-strand aluminium in the side of it. But I find this a really good feeder wire and whatnot, but they don't make it in grey. If they made in grey, I'll be happy. I've got the orange, brown, yellow, black, blue, white, red. Yeah. Pretty much really basic colours. Still got to label it though when I which wire goes to which track and switch and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because see, like, the hardest part is like with my switches, I just get my wires up for one of them. Because I've been prepping some of my wires on my switches, but because I don't have,
that's what I need to do. I need to just take a day and just solder my ass off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Toggles, solder up edge connectors, solder up. I got a bunch of tortoises now. I just need to, just so they're ready to go, so when I install them, they're done, they're ready. And I'm not having to take the time to slow down and do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment, just doing everything up. I've got more LEDs to do. I've got to put the resistors. I've got more of these switches. These are all going on my switching panel. And I stick to the same colours. Like the black is basic my ground, and then I've got. Look, these wires are going to my. These wires are not going to go to my switch 8. These wires are going to my mini panel.
Yeah.
Right. And these toggle switches would be operating through the mini panel. But I'm still using the 3Y system. Orange is my main one. That's usually my number 1 wire. And the brown and grey is usually my number 8 wire on the tortoise motor. So I'll keep it to that.
I need to decide what I'm going to go with and stick with the same colors like you're talking about, so that I don't, confuse myself down the road. I'll know that, orange is for whatever number, green.
Yeah.
Just stick with that.
Yeah. So what I've done with my tortoise motor, I use the I use a different cable.
What is it thicker? I'm going to use 22 gauge for the motor.
Yeah.
For 1 and 8. I'm going to use this here is, I think, whatever this Cat 5 cable is. I don't know what the thickness is, 24 or 26 maybe?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
But see, I use this wire for my tortoise motors. Unfortunately, it's got 9 core inside this cable. So what you do is the yellow I use as the yellow wire basically I'm using for my block detector that goes from the block detector to the BD20 to the AIU1. So when the yellow wire that's in here becomes my spare.
Okay.
It's all bunched up, and I take it to that one central location for all my switches, and it's all bundled up. I'm not going to have a million wires everywhere. But you got those blue plugs. You're using those blue plugs there. They're very hard to find here in Australia.
Yeah, and I found them at one point, so I was going to use them.
Yeah. When you do find them, I mean, the hobby shop that sells the DCC stuff here, it charges like a winded bull for them. So I gone and got these PC board plugs inside on the bottom of the this is a 3. I just used the other one. They come in 8 pins.
Hang on a minute. Let me pull that up there.
I use these ones on the tortoise motor, the male, and then
How do those work?
Pardon?
How do those work?
Okay, how these work, I actually got you'll see it on my YouTube channel. I've actually showed how I do it. And then you get, hang on. There's the 8 pin. I'll keep it in the pack. It's got a number. That's the 8 pin. And the tips of them line up. They actually line up to the solder pads of the tortoise motors.
Yeah.
Now, if you got the newer ones, they'll actually fit straight into the hole of the the pre-drilled holes in the tortoise motors. They will actually
really?
fit in. They will actually fit into that. So you just solder them on, and then I get the female, which is like this, right? And it basically just, you see it. Have a look at my tutorial. It just basically slides on. It clips on. You got to do the wiring connections though, and feed them in. And I just had to replace a couple of tortoise motors, just change them out or take them out, and it was an easy fix. This was my solution because I couldn't get those blue plugs that you've got.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's basically what this wire is here, Jason. This is basically your networking wire anyway. And it's pretty, it's not too thick, but it's not too thin. It's just right. I haven't had any complications with it yet. So, the only thing that knocked my head about this week is these handmade signals that I've got for my layout. Trying to work on the reverse polarities and that on it to work on the switch it, on the light it. And I had no success, so I've ordered some standard signals. But look what I worked out to do me experimenting. With the Arduino kits, you got these with the lighter that I had. When we were talking on Tuesday, I was soldering individual wires on a couple of them. Then I went to Tandy's to get some electronic bits, and I found these plugs. So I put these plugs in place, and what I found is some of these. Well, the ground is in the wrong spot, but I can get the male ones and just plug all my wires straight into it, like so. And if, say, the signal fails or the board fails, I don't have to worry about resoldering tons of wires back on. I just prep it as I did now.
Yeah.
And put it back in its place.
That makes sense.
Trying to make things easier.
Yeah.
Things do wear out and fail over time. Hey, Malvin, how are you, buddy?
Let's see, I got you kind of on the big screen there.
Yeah, I normally go into the J car, say like
Really?
Oh,
Hello, Dave.
oh boy, here's the
Hello.
bomb. Hey, g'day, Lee. How are you, bud?
Man, I've got a soldering iron on the workbench at the moment. I'm soldering little green lights.
Yeah. Well, I gave the J car, and like I was sitting down the other day and looking at the plugs for the wood kits that I'm doing. And when I'm sitting there on the floor at J car, because you've got these big shelves with all the, well, you've got little pockets, little drawers like this, maybe a little bit bigger, but they're all full of components and plugs and whatnot. So I'll sit there and just, will this fit into this or will it not? Or how can I use this on the layout? And just finding an easy alternative. And the guys just leave me alone. They know I don't need help.
They know you well enough.
Yeah, they know I'm already beyond help.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Well, that's what the female store manager says to me too. She goes, "Oh no, he's trouble."
I've just been called trouble by Joe. Hello, Rick.
I think we're all kind of trouble in our own way, huh?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are. Well, things have changed on the layout. I was going to do a town scene on one side of the layout on this layout. I've decided I'm now going to put a pond in. As you do, plans change.
Pub, you say?
No, I'm going to put a pond. I'm going to do a little like a pond. It's going to be. I'm going to do a park, and next to it is going to be a pond.
Like a little lake, mini lake.
Yeah, but I'm going to have it round. But either side.
You gotta do like James Tedesco, get the Doodle Lake going. Nudist Lake.
Nah.
Oh, hang on, that's French style, isn't it? That's French style, Southern French style bathing. That's perfectly normal down there.
Yeah, not here though. People get a little funny about shit like that around us. You know, in the United States. I don't have a problem with it.
I think there's only certain beaches in Florida where you can do that.
Yeah.
Hey, John. Yeah.
I've got a crystal clear webcam now as well for the train layout.
Yeah, the webcams gone. The prices here have gone quite mad, actually.
Yeah, this one though wasn't got new. It was second, but it's an Eagle Eye Mini. But I tell you now, it's crystal clear when on the workbench when I'm doing any filming on the workbench. I like it. It's not the one I'm on. This is just a cheap cam, but the other one, it's got self-focus on it and everything. It's on the layout at the moment.
I'm up to that one of those cams where you can zoom in and out, and
yeah, this has got automatic. This has got automatic zoom on it. Let me let me change to it.
That's what I need to get. Someone has Zoom.
This is
Zoom.
No, wrong one.
So I've got the J Car's got them, but they want something like about $200 for it. So I went up to Office Works, which is like Staples, and they got the same one for about $95, but they don't have any in stock.
It's froze on me.
Oh, that sounds good. But GoPros, I mean, yeah, they're not cheap over here either. I've got to go over. I've got to start doing the trip and buy some stuff duty free. You see, that's the that's how you can get them cheap. But you can only spend up to $1,000.
Are they duty free?
Yeah. Yeah, you can only buy up to about $1,000 that you can declare to come home without paying any duty on it. So, but then you can always buy it and just mail it back.
Get to work around there somehow.
Yeah, well, we officially can fly out as of Monday without asking, well, unrestricted travel leaving the country on as of Monday. We can go to the US and Europe and whatnot. And you go to certain countries where we can actually go now. We don't require to basically get a permit to leave the country.
It's still crazy to me.
Oh, we're doing all right here. We should be. They're lifting more and more restrictions here. We'll be back to normal here as of December. Everything's going back to normal in December. Our numbers come down quite drastically.
Yeah, that's good.
And like just within my state, the vaccination rate's up to about. They saying the single vax is about 97% of our population. So about 97% of our state's population will be double vaxxed. by December. So, and it's helping. It's
Good.
helping. Over here, we haven't been arguing about it. We just went in and done it and be done with it, you know.
Yeah.
Where Midsummer is, they're fighting arguing over there, and they got like 2,000 cases a day, and people going to hospital every huge numbers, and yeah,
We got more vaccinated people dying here than you got unvaccinated that are in the hospital.
yeah, well, yeah, we just don't know. But we're on the right track. We're on the right track here within my state and within Sydney and down here. I mean, we got the bulk of the population of Australia here, so
Yeah.
if it works here, it's going to work everywhere else. They're also talking about a third vaccine booster shot, which will come in. Hey, Lee, you must be having military exercises. His internet dropped out. No, we're doing all right. We're doing okay here. I know that the media over there in the US has just blown things out of proportion the way things are over here.
They're blowing it out of proportion the way things are here too. It's just the media, I think.
Yeah. But I can't wait to get it
They
back
tend
over
to do
there.
that. They got to sell newspapers.
Yeah, well, yeah. Did you see the signs that are made up for my town?
No.
I made myself printing up some signage, highway signage. I'm going to put up. I just printed it up on that sticky paper and cut out the cardboard. It's roughly, it's not an exact shape, but it's roughly the shape that you would see around the place.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, the top town does exist here in my state. It's out in the wheat belt, and then I'll show you the big one I've done.
Man, I wish I was better at soldering.
I get that moments too. Something's a good, something's a bad. And here's the other big one. When it comes to the T intersection. Now, Route 69 does exist. It actually starts not far from me here, and it goes inland up through the hills at the back of West of Sydney. So, I've got to put one of the posts back and the glue let go. I'll have to super glue that, I think. Yeah, all I did was use thin plastic sheet on the backing, and the poles are just your paper clips. That's great. So nice and cheap and easy.
That come in handy, right? The paper clips.
Oh yeah, I use them. Your mesh fencing, your mesh security fencing.
Yeah.
I use that as the post for it. Sam Drucker's store. Yeah, I'm thinking about that, Rick. There's Sam Drucker's store, and there's you got Shady Rest there too, haven't you? Well, I'm not too sure if that's 2 or 3 story. I think that's a 3-story building, isn't it? Or meant to be.
What's that?
Petticoat Junction. Shady Rest. And that this old TV series. G'day, you're back, Jason. Yeah, the Shady Rest. I think it's a 2 or 3-story building. They'd be interested in do. Like I bought a whole heap of old Santa Fe engines, and I'm going to change the name on it to what's the name of the railroad? CFMW or whatever it is they call that, like the railroad that owns the Cannonball. So
I have no idea, man.
yeah, Rick knows what I'm talking about. Rick knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm going to be changing the names on it. So, yeah. But to do the Cannonball itself, that steam engine, it's try to find an identical steam engine that you can actually use. That's the hard part. Bartman has got a similar engine, but it's got the wrong stack on it and the wrong light on it.
All right, wish I could help you. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, Crazy Joe, I still haven't quite. I still quite haven't decided the final name for the whole layout of my a proper name for the complete layout. I've got the name for the towns, but
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to.
yeah, that's all right. Same finding.
Chatting and trying to get some stuff accomplished. This
Yeah,
problem, I
that's
get
right.
to doing this stuff and then I don't talk.
Yeah. Find the proper paint job on the proper diesel. Yeah. Which diesel are you talking about, Jason? Because I know that CFW or whatever the railroad is, they when you look at the series, they actually use the same color scheme as Santa Fe did. But where the names of Santa Fe is on the front and the sides, they actually changed it. No, mine's well, the Cotton Belt Alco PAs and FP7s. But they had I believe they had the blood nose on it, didn't they, Jason, in 1959? Yeah, the Cotton Belt and the Southern Pacific, they were very, very close. There was a distinguishing feature between between the two of them. Yeah, the way I do my layout, I'm basically adopting the system that's going in Bosnia, where they're still running the steam engine over there on a regular revenue. They still got it working over there, pulling the coal trains.
Steam, right?
Yeah, they got the old, I think it's the 52 class, the German built 52 class. It's a 210 tender engine. And
Okay.
they got spare parts and whatnot for it, or they can manufacture what they haven't got. But the reason why they haven't gotten a diesel or electric on those engines is because they got ample supply of coal to fuel their trains. So they just using the coal out the mines to fuel the train. So they got no real big overheads as such, as in fuel wise, to get the coal from the mine and down to the I think it goes down to a power station nearby. But I mean,
it makes sense. I mean, it's economical. I mean, you're mining the coal anyways.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I did put something on my YouTube, but you can actually look it up. They actually do run still, and there's been countless documentaries made over there. And when people say you can't run modern steam trains and modern era, that actually throws everything into throws all that theory out the window, doesn't it? Or that argument, should I say?
Let's look at this.
Yeah, that's true. Crazy they don't, but I mean, they are. Hey, Randall, how are you? But mind you, they are part of the EU, so they do have to worry about how much they can actually, how much of the coal they can actually use and burn and everything else. But I mean, hey, what comes out of stack is actually steam. It's not smoke, isn't it? It's like our coke works here. Like if there's people see all this clouds coming out of the quencher, and all that is steam. They always think that's all smoke, but it's not. It's all steam.
Well, I mean, they're burning coal, so I mean, you're getting some smoke.
Oh, you get a little bit.
I'm not having a good Saturday.
Yeah, there's just so many variations with a lot of railroads there, Jason. I mean, you got the Cotton Belt, and I know like this Chesapeake and Ohio and Baltimore and Ohio. They had two different schemes before they became the Chesney system. They had one car scheme for certain passenger trains and another one for another passenger trains. The diesels were painted in a certain colour for passenger service, and other ones were painted for what do you call it, freight duties. Well, that's it too, Joe. Yeah, there is a lot of ways to produce that. Yeah. Well, Crazy Joe, actually, Germany, Holland, and I think Belgium, but I know definitely Germany at the moment. What they're doing over there, they're actually burning their trash and using that to generate steam for the new power stations. And what they're doing out of that and the ash content that they actually get out of it get screened and filtered, and they're actually putting that into your hot mix at the moment.
Doing that down here in the Ohio River too. There's a couple power plants that burn. They'll use some trash. I don't know if it's like a major thing they use, but I mean they will. They'll use that. I was working for one trash company. We used to take trash in there and burn it.
Okay, Jason. Yeah, I mean, like I worked at the local tip here, and the amount of rubbish that gets thrown away with all the plastics and everything else, and you get a big gust of wind come along and blows everything around. But when you burn it, it's not going to go everywhere. And the actual, well, they can use it on the fields. It makes good fertilizer. Always has. but they are now using some of the ash content in the hot mix and the bitumen. It actually giving it better wear and tear, and it also making the highways a lot quieter. You don't hear that. You don't get that road friction noise as much as what we used to with the humming underneath the tires. Like we just gravel and sand, but now they're actually using the ash content in it. And because we've used it on a lot of our new roads over here, they actually brought over from Europe. They actually brought it in from Germany. I mean, they could do it themselves over here, but nobody wants one of those incinerators in their backyard. But you'll reduce the landfill quite
Well, I
substantially.
remember the house I grew up in. We had an incinerator in our laundry room, actually.
Yeah. So did we here right up to about
You burn all that
mid-70s.
paper trash, anyways. You know.
Yeah. That's right, Joe. It is a lot smoother. And the wear's a lot better. But I tell you what, for some of that caster stuff, it is a pain to clean off of the back, and it just sticks it almost sticks like super glue. It's really tacky. It's like burnt rubber. This mix. I mean, forever trying to clean off the back of the truck. But when they spread it, they can't spread it as quick as what they normally do. If you spread it too quick, you don't get the good surface. If it's too cold, it goes off real quick. You can't go too slow. You can't go too fast. We can only lay it during hot weather. We can't lay it when it's windy because it goes off too quick.
Now, what is this stuff? This is the
ash content that they're getting out of these
the ash content.
incinerators where they're burning all the household trash now.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they've got a good, useful byproduct. I mean, you have a look at the fly ash that you get in your cement. Hey, he's back. Jason wants a link. Sorry, I'm not moderator. I can't do that.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I know I'm not talking too much. I'm trying to do this. And
I'll do the talking for you. How's that sound?
yeah, I'm listening. I'm trying to chime in here and there. So what happens if I don't get started? If I don't get started early on stuff, then I get lazy about it, and I don't want to do anything. Like when I get off of the show, the next thing I know, half the day is gone, and I haven't gotten anything accomplished.
Yeah, well, lately all I've been doing is I've been just listening to the. Oh, here he is. Hey, Jason.
Hey,
What's
Jason.
going on, guys?
You got your oranges on. Where's your bright stripes? You only got half your safety gear on.
He's going back.
No, I got my work shirt on today. I got a board meeting tonight to attend to, so.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's why you're all dressed up.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would not be dressed up.
So So how long are you going in for this meeting? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months?
10 years?
10 years? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
So, Dave, what you wiring up, buddy?
Right now, I'm trying to wire those resistors on these LEDs.
Do you have one of those things called helping hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sort
Doing
of.
something like that, you got to have the helping hands to make that work.
Yeah, I got it. I was just having issues. My soldering iron needed a cleaning, apparently. It was not acting agreeable. I straightened it out. I made it see the light.
Well, I had to go buy me a new one because I was doing a decoder install, and then something came up unexpectedly, and I forgot to unplug the soldering iron and did not realize it till like 3 days later when I went to go back and use it again. Like, I'm surprised that I did not have a fire in the house from it.
Yeah, thank God.
But I totally burnt out the soldering iron. So
feel like
So I had
I've
to go
done
buy a
that
new one.
myself.
Man, that stinks. I did that once too. You're not the only one that's done it. I
Yeah.
got distracted and forgot to turn it off. But my soldering iron's been working flat chat the last 3 days, trying to get my switches and LEDs and components ready for my new switchboard, which I'm hoping to put together this weekend. Time's ticking, so I want to get all this done.
I had to go to the closest place that had a soldering iron for sale that was in stock was Hobbytown, USA, which is like 30 miles from my house.
Oh, wow.
And I've got 2 hobby shops that are closer than that. So neither one of the hobby shops carry soldering irons.
Well, I've got a spare one here in case this one fails. But my electronic shop's only, 15, 20 minutes drive away, but the nearest model train shop is about an hour and a half's drive. Except for Creedy's place.
Hobbytown, the mileage doesn't sound so bad, but with the traffic, because you're going from, a city of, 20 to 30,000 people to a city of, 80 or 60 to 80,000, somewhere in that area. So the traffic's a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
And it's just getting through all the major thoroughfares just to get to where you need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Like with me to go to the electronics shop, it's all right going there, but it's coming home. I've got a zigzag on the way home, trying to get back on the freeway to come home.
Yeah.
And going to Sydney is just a nightmare.
Yeah. One thing I can say about Arkansas is, and I don't know about any of the other states in the U.S. or other countries, but it seems like the road departments only build the roads as wide for the current traffic. Like they don't think ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So soon as they put, they widen it, say from a 2-lane road to a 4-lane road, 2 lanes for each side, or a 5-lane if you want to throw that turning lane in the middle, then it's like, okay, well, that's going to be suffice for, maybe 2 years.
Mm.
You get more people packed in, and then guess what? Your road's going to have a log jam again.
Yeah.
And that's like the interstate going through, it's crazy, like Jacksonville, Arkansas. If you're north of Jacksonville, they just widen it to 3 lanes. But going through Jacksonville, it goes back down to 2 lanes for each side. And then as soon as you get out of Jacksonville, it's back to 3 lanes. So Jacksonville is a log jam.
That's what we've had down here in my area too. But what they've done here is, and I know even down home in South Carolina, Spartanburg, Greenville, over there, there's a lot of roadworks going on at the moment. It has been for the last 8 years now, 9 years, widening it, putting new bridges and whatnot down there because of big population boom that happened in that area.
Yeah.
But my area,
that's what's happened in my town because 20 years ago, this city was maybe the population of 3,000, so it's a small town.
Yeah.
And within a 10-year span, it boomed up to 25,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But the problem, they got to.
And all of our, what makes it worse is all of our major roads in my town are all state highways.
Yeah.
So the city can't do nothing about it. The city can't widen the roads. It's the state that has to do it.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm trying to get funding for that.
We got the main thorough. See here it works. Your main road itself is maintained by the state. your side road is actually your side roads in your cities or whatnot. They're actually maintained by the county or the city as such. So
Right.
they need to raise up the money to widen those roads up or put new infrastructure on those roads. What our county or our councillor has done here now is there's a new development coming ahead. They've got to pay for the change to the infrastructure. So the money goes in the kitty to put that extra lane in, put that extra traffic light in, put that extra roundabout in, put that extra on and off ramp on and off the freeway, for example. So now all these new developments now have to contribute to the infrastructure as well. And you guys are still running on the old system. Greenville, South Carolina, Greenville and Spartanburg are now starting to do that with the new developers too. You want to start building, you're going to have to put in and cater for the new infrastructure.
Right.
Because the county's only got so much money for the roads and that. What's that, calcium chloride? Nasty on cars and trucks, yeah.
And I think that what makes it tough on our town is you got the railroad running right through the middle of it, and so there's only 3 areas within the whole stretch of the city limits that crosses the railroad tracks. You've got the south side of town that has a bridge that goes over the tracks. You got the middle part of town that has 4 crossing gates, and that's where I do a lot of my rail fanning. And then you got the north side of town that also has a bridge that goes over the tracks. And from the south bridge to the north bridge is about a 7 to 10 mile span. So, I mean, when you look at a city that's stretched out like that, and then now they're doing road construction, they're actually trying to widen the road on the bottom, span that's going over the railroad tracks. Well, a lot of people don't want to deal with the road construction, so they funnel it up to the middle part of town, and it's like, where I live is less than 10 miles to get to work, but yet it takes me more than 20 minutes to get to work, and it's not because of the speed limits. It's because of all the traffic just trying to get through town. Yeah.
That ends up same over here too. Like not far from where we had that train accident here last week and whatnot. There are putting new bridges in, but if you go one way, you got no traffic jam. But the preferred route, there's a lot of traffic, but you got to go through the railroad crossing. But the thing is here, which is different to there. Our tracks are actually maintained, and the crossings are actually maintained by the state. The railroad is the state. And it's all got to be on the same standard right throughout the whole country. Like over in the US, the railroad actually puts the crossings in with the county. Right? And that's why you get all those humps and whatnot. They don't have a set standard. And it creates all sorts of drums. Like I see all those trucks and that they're bellying out up on the railroad crossings. We don't have those type of railroad crossings here.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. No matter if it's a state highway or a U.S. highway, not the interstates, but just like a regular U.S. highway, county road, city road, everywhere there is a grade crossing, the railroad maintains it.
Yeah.
And I think they maintain, it's up to 3 feet on either end of it. So 3 feet and everything in the middle. And they're the ones who maintain that.
I thought it would have been 8 foot. With the rule of the 8 foot, they're using the 8 foot rule like what we use here. So because we have the 8 foot rule from the track, 8 feet from the track to the edge. Like you got the track 8 foot out to the side of it. That's railroad property. Anything in that 8 foot in between the track. So that's what the railroad has to maintain. The rest of the state, like my department, which is the road construction, the RMS, we maintain outside of it. The railroad actually maintains the
Yeah.
surface of the crossing. So we've got the 8-foot rule here. But we still got to work within the same standard. The railroad's got to put the crossing into our standard, not to their standard. If you know what I mean, like this surface and everything else and the approaches and whatnot, that's all got to be done to our standard. If not,
But I think what makes it tough, for them especially, is like with the crossings where double tracks are located. The tracks side by side are not the same height.
no.
One has to be a little higher than the other, so that way water will run off, and you don't have water pooling in the middle. So, and then I guess that's like one thing about us modelers is, when we put in a double track, we got the tracks at the same height side by side, and that's not prototypical, but I mean,
It's not
what else are you going to do, right?
It's probably not prototypical for you there, but for us here, it is. Because if you go by, if you go where our double tracks, I'll go up and get the photos of it. Our double tracks are the same height, but we do have a different drainage. We've got a better drainage system that's under the track that takes the water away.
See, they don't do that here. Yeah, they don't have the drainage, so it's like one set of rails is maybe 6 inches higher than the other set, and that's so that way the rain middle, the water between the tracks will go under the track that's lower, and then off to the side.
So the way our beds are done here, like I'm working on some of the beds that they've done, they're actually tapered same as the road. If you have a look at the road, they've got a crest in it, right? And it's probably only if you put a rule or whatnot on, or if you measure, it's probably about a half an inch. It's not much, but it's just enough to take the water away from the center of between the two rails.
Right.
And it does work pretty well. And the water's actually just flow on the side. We've got a drainage ditches on the side, and it takes the water away. Because if we did what you guys do over there, we have fires and floods there. So if we end up doing things like you guys, our rail lines would always be continually flooded out. If you understand what I mean, it works here well.
No. Yeah, no. I get it, and that's why I'm saying, like with the railroad crossings here, when you have the tracks that are not the same height, that does present some of a challenge, and that's why sometimes when you drive over, a multi-track crossing, it's rough as heck, and that's why.
Yeah.
And it's even worse when the crossing is in a curve and they have the track super elevated. Meaning that you got, the outside rail.
Yeah. We have that on our bench here, yeah. We have that on our bench for our speed roads, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the outside rail is 6 inches higher than the inside rail, but the inside rail on the outside track is another 6 inches higher than the outside rail on the inside track, and then another 6 inch drop. And so I mean, from, just a standing purpose, you don't feel it, but when you drive over it, you do.
Yeah. Most of our crossings that we have here, even where the Triangle Road, even though that's on the bend, it's actually more of a straight than the bend. And the elevation's only probably by about that much, half an inch. But on the tighter bends are going up north, you've got the super elevation quite big, but you've got no railroad crossings. You've got bridges going over the top. But now what were they doing is now that they're doing another practice when they're redoing the base, reconditioning the rails and putting new beds in. They're digging it right down to the base, And now they're using a material you've probably seen it there called geofabric. I don't know if you heard of it. It's like a fabric material. It's like a woven mesh sort of thing. And they lay that on the bottom underneath the ballast. And what that does, it actually takes the water out to the sides. Instead of having the water sitting underneath, it works like a sponge. It soaks up the water and just squeezes out to the side. It basically trains the water to get away from the rails. And they do it on the roads too. Yeah. Okay, John, you're going all right. Take care. See, with your shirt, all you need to do is put a couple of silver fluoros and put a cross on the back, and you can come work on our lines down here. Yeah. Because we're not allowed to wear anything else but orange on our
I heard that.
Because it doesn't blend in with the signals. Can't wear red, you can't wear yellow. No, it's got to be orange.
Well, I will tell you this, and working for a public library system, 80, and this is a true statement, 80 to 90% of the staff is women. So, of course, when they picked colored shirts out, they didn't really pick a good choice of colors. So, and I did not want to wear pink or purple or a baby blue. I think would have been my second option. So I went with the orange.
Orange is okay, even though it actually represents a different class of people that are like, the jailbirds, but orange is
they don't, for some odd reason, there's only me and one other guy that's in our system, and then we have like 20 ladies, and when they go and pick out shirts for the system, like there's like no masculinity in any of it. So they'll give me a shirt, but I won't. Most of the time, I don't even wear them. So.
Yeah, so we had a colour, our drivers and whatnot were wearing green, like light green shirts and really dark green trousers. It was actually quite smart. But there's only one problem. Those colours actually clash with our, what we call prison greens. Like our prisons wear green over here, and whether you call them prison greens. So, yeah, we've changed the colour of the blue now.
See, all of our prisons in this area, they wear gray, like a really, really light, warm gray. Like it's almost white, but, if they get dirty, it kind of hides it type thing.
Yeah.
But if they would have chose a green color, like a hunter green, I probably would have picked that one instead. But that wasn't an option. So, but I don't know. We're in the process of rebranding anyways. So I'm curious to see what type of, clothing that they choose to do on it. I'm just glad that this is a polo and not a button up.
Oh, I prefer polos.
Yeah, I love polo shirts. I'm not a big fan of the button ups.
No. I take the four neck t-shirts and whatnot, but I always look for polos like Teesprings. I was looking at it to see if they had some polo shirts, but yeah, I haven't come across any. I prefer polo shirts. They're a lot smarter.
Well, I will tell you this, with Teespring, if you're going to go buy a shirt, cough up the money and buy the premium, because after you wash it about 5 times, the screen print on their cheaper shirts start coming off. They start flaking and peeling off.
Okay.
Yeah.
The premium is like inked into the shirt. So it's not screen printed.
Okay. Because I got these ones from a local company down here, and all they are. Okay, this one's got the name tag on it. But all they do is print it out on an iron-on and iron it on, basically. I can do the
Yeah.
same thing at home.
See, this one here is embroidered.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if Teespring offered that, then that would be a good fit too. But I don't know if my logo being graffiti would look good embroidered on a polo shirt.
Well,
Probably not.
hey, Steve, how you doing? There is a guy not far from me that do shirts, but I'm not going to stock shirts here.
No, yeah, like most of the local mom and pop places, that if you do shirts, you have to buy in bulk.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about doing that at the beginning and doing giveaways, because originally I thought Teespring, you had to have a big enough channel to be able to participate in Teespring. When I guess I didn't read between the lines, and it's actually, no, you got to have a big enough channel to link your Teespring to your YouTube channel.
Oh,
which is 10,000. I think it's 10,000 subscribers you have to have in order to make that happen. So, like, channels like DJ Strange, for example, you can see his Teespring store on his YouTube channel. But once I was corrected on that and advised, then I went ahead and created a Teespring store. And the only way I could actually link it is in my banner. You can add links in there. And so I've got my Teespring basically linked in my banner, but you can't see any of my merchandise like on my channel in itself.
Yeah, you gotta hit that link to go to it. Yeah.
So that I'll always post it in the description for those who are interested in getting something, and whatever I make off of it, it just goes into the, to the prizes, for the contest and stuff and for whatnot. So,
well, I'm just looking to doing something different and putting back into it, and just cover the costs of what I'm doing here now that I'm doing live streaming and then doing the content. I'll be doing it pretty much full on for at least another 3 months, 4 months while I recover. But then I'm going to won't fade out, but I'm still going to be doing it, but not as much, because hopefully I'm going back to work.
Yeah.
I've got the operation on my right hand, and I'm going to see if I'm going to pull it out so I can get out of the US and then get back to work when I return. Because we're estimating about April when I'll be ready to go back to work, and we've got Strasbourg in May. So I want to try to get out.
I am going to try to go to that. Right now, my wife's job is up in the air. So depending on what happens there, depends on if I get to go to Strasbourg or not. So, but that's the plan. So, well, guys, I hate to run, but I've got a meeting here in about 15 minutes, so I got to get in there and get ready for it. So
you're gonna go and put up with those women.
Some of them are not that bad. I've got a couple. I've got a couple that are more needy than the others, but most of them are actually pretty good to work with.
I tell you what, they are the best debt collectors. And anything else you want to go and do something nasty to someone, you send the girls around. Don't worry about the boys. Send the girls around. They are nasty.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Especially when it comes to money, they know how to get that money.
Yeah. No, I enjoy working with them. I do. I really do. There's a couple that can get on my nerves and push my buttons at times, but overall, I think with me being here for 9, going on to 10 years, we've kind of built that mutual respect between each other. Yeah. The one that I really had issues with, she's no longer here, so it's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
So.
But as long as you enjoy going to work, that's the main thing. If you hate going to work, that's a different story too. I mean, Yeah,
There's days I hate it and there's days that I enjoy it. Today's one of those days that I hate it because I hate meetings. Like, I just want to go in, I want to do my job and get my job done and over with. These meetings are doing nothing but slowing my work progress down.
Yeah.
So those are really the only days that I hate are the meeting days. So, all right, guys. Well,
Jason, take care. Hey,
Dave,
Mo,
I hope that works for you, Dave.
I don't know.
All right, guys. Y'all take care.
Thanks.
Well, I've done all
right.
these. I've done all these. These are some of the switches.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Hey, there's some of the switches I've done.
I had to pick up a van at the last minute from the repair shop, so I kind of missed out on part of the conversation there.
With my LEDs.
Weird. Yeah.
What are those?
Well, they're makeshift signals. They're actually going to be on my panel board, but
Oh, okay. They're launched for your control panel then, huh?
yeah, I'm going to put a control panel in, and these are the lights that are going to show my. Oh, you'll see when I get it done up.
Okay.
But these
All
are
right.
actually signal lights that are going to be on the panel. But for the time being, because I don't know whether I'm going to get them on time or not, I'm going to use them as temporary signals on the layout. Because the ones I do have here, I've got to work out how I can get them to work on the NCE's lighting circuit. They will work with Atlas's signaling system, because Atlas has actually got a provision for these type of signals, because they got the reverse bipolar LEDs in them. The NCE unit won't. I haven't worked out how the NCE will actually support it, and I don't think they can.
Yeah, that's getting a little bit above my head too. I just now got back into DCC, so I had to.
You see, you get. Let me try to find them. It's like you get these LEDs. Here they are. You get these double-pronged LEDs, and what they mean by bipolar, that's actually an illness. Like you got what they mean by bipolar. If you reverse the polarity on these here, you get different colors on the one LED, right? So if I put it in one way, the normal way, it will be green. Let me try to get it. You'll get the green color. If I reverse it around the other way, it becomes red. That's bipolar. You can actually do that on normal switch, but like you can do it on a tortoise motor, but that means you've got to use both sides of the contacts. Like how you got your terminal points for, you can switch your polarities between 4 and 5. As such, one side's going to be a positive, negative. I did have it worked out on how to do it, but that means you won't. I'm not used to these cameras. You won't. There we go. Your numbers that you got on the bottom here. You got your switches in here, to use bipolar, you need half of them. It doesn't give you any spare switches. And if you're doing like if you're using live points, live frog, sorry, right, you need one side of that to do your polarities. So it gets really complicated. The way I'm doing it to control my LEDs, I'm using where I have the middle as a common. No, that's not it. I'm using the middle as my common, so that's got the resistor in it. No, it's the rectangular ones. Oh, here they are. So with these ones here, what I do is with these ones here, I put that to my common with a resistor. And now the power that goes into these ones here, I only need to use 2, 3, and 4. 4 is your power in, and when you flick it, power 3 will go to one side, and your power 2 will go on the other one. And that will change your oh, you go, Mystic. Take care, mate. Then that'll change my colour to green and red. And that's the easy way of doing it. Because I'm not using all the terminals on my tortoise motors. I do have another one that I'm going to be using. It's got 3 colours. It's got red, green, and blue. But in actual fact, if I connect red and green together, it gives me orange. So there you go. I found that out. I found that out by accident the other day. So if you
I'm
want
just trying to figure these damn things out myself. It's simple, but it's confusing at the same time.
Yeah.
For me, it is, anyways. Well,
at least it took a while for it to start reaching back in my mind. I was going through a lot of other issues mentally, and I know how to do it, but
yeah, I'll still be here, but I will not be on the track.
But to actually do it, just wasn't coming out of my hands, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like it's coming in my mind, but when I was trying to focus on and do it with my hands, it was just wasn't happening. And now that I
can understand it, I kind of like that too, where it's like, even when I understand sometimes I can't get my hands to do what I want them to do.
You just have to take it.
Like the soldering doesn't seem like it's that difficult, but then when you try to do it sometimes.
Oh, you have good days and bad days. I had good days and bad days of soldering too. I mean, I'm doing everything right, and sometimes the solder won't bond or something, and it's like,
yeah. I was having issues before, so I just scrub that iron down.
Well, you know how I said on Tuesday that I think that I've got too much wiring underneath that I may actually have to remove. I was just thinking to myself, I haven't got the tortoise wiring in place. So those wires that's in there, that's going to become redundant. I'm going to actually use them to go into from my wire cables of the tortoise motors to my panel. So I don't have to redo any plugs or whatnot. I'm just going to have to follow the labels and make sure I connect them all right at the panel.
Yeah.
So my wiring's pretty much there. I'm hoping you haven't finished this. I'm hoping to start putting it all together this weekend. That's the plan anyway.
Well, I'm trying to experiment with the one I got going here. See if I can, get it to work right, and then I can go from there with whatever, to get it, neater under the table. I'm just trying to get the concept down right now. I'm doing this.
Yeah. Just document it down on a piece of paper somehow. Just document it down on paper.
Yeah.
Because you'll forget about. You look at the labels. They go, "Now, what was that referred to?" And what you write down on your labels to mark your wire, make sure you do that on your documentation too. So when you go back to it, you go, "Oh, that's where that wire is going to. Oh, that's what I put that there for." Because when I went still, like I'm going to say it, when I went brain dead because of my depression and stress and everything else, it was like I went under to fix my wiring just recently. I'm like, where's this supposed to go? Oh, there. Why did I put that there? I had to do changes, but as soon as I made the changes, I had to document it because I'll get back underneath it. It's like, I know where everything is. If something ever happens to me or want to flog it off and someone else wants to use it, they can take the paperwork and go, right, okay, this wire goes here, that wire is meant to go there, and the person picks it up nice and easy. Principle's easy. It's basics.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily rocket science. It's just me getting it all wrapped around my head right, figured out. So, am I going to do this? That, maybe.
When I see all these Arduinos, fair enough. I mean, it's fun having technology, but with the Arduinos, you got to learn the language.
So I got to go to track car with this shit.
And look, with
me, thinking out loud here, man. Thinking out loud.
Look, with me, I don't have time to be busting around learning a new language. I want to have this panel and everything else going within the next 3 weeks. Because I'm down in tools for about 2.5, 3 months. So in that 2-3 months, I want to be operating trains.
Yeah, I feel you. Me too. God damn, I'm dropping shit everywhere.
You just don't want to see my table at the moment. I've only got enough room for my laptop.
I know. I mean, mine's pretty bad too right now. Oh, come on.
I know where everything is.
Maybe.
If I clean it up, I'll never find it again. So as long as Gary creepy up the mountain, he doesn't seem any rain. I'll have the woodwork and that done for the panels and start putting it together. Because we've been having some strange weather here lately.
We had a lot of rain last night.
Oh, you've seen Creepy 013, Randall?
I haven't. I heard him say something, or I saw something in one of the chats that he said he was getting a lot of rain.
Yeah. Creepy is like 40 minutes away from me up the mountain. And a lot of times the rain comes from his place and heads over to me. Right? So that's why pardon?
Success.
Oh, you did it. It's working.
I think. Maybe. Well, that don't look pretty.
I would check my weather app, but it would kick me out of StreamYard if I tried to log into the weather app. So I can't do it while I'm chatting. So
yeah, you got your light there.
Yeah, I got the
I could check radio and see if it's telling the weather here.
There we go.
Source.
You got success there, mate.
Success, man.
Champion. Okay,
It don't look pretty now.
Telling the weather.
Hey, it's working. Now remember, now you got to do that to the 100 others that you got putting in.
I know. Shut up, Artie. I think I'm gonna just have this one. Just one. That's what I mean.
Not telling the weather right now.
Just one. Oh my God. It's gonna take forever.
Well, I've got 12 on and off switches to do now, and I've got about three.
I'm just trying to get this one panel set up here, So I got to do all of that. So I got to do 1, 2,
Looks like that.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tortoises on there.
7.
So I got, I'm going to put one of these LEDs in each one of these spots. In the red and green spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I got what? 16. I got 18, 19 locations on mine.
Well, it's just this one yard. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to have plenty of other areas. Now, some of the smaller industries, or maybe it would just be I wouldn't have a yard there, just a small industry. I may just put just a small thing on the fascia,
Yeah.
I may not run a whole thing like this for it, I
Yeah.
do this in the bigger yards. But if I just have a random industry somewhere, I may just put a toggle on the fascia with an LED or something. And I don't know, we'll see. Something simple, not all that crazy.
Well,
I'm
see,
trying to build up. I'm just dropping shit. I got this board I built or this box,
yeah, that's what I got to make
Put
it.
that on there. That's hollow in the back. So I'm gonna drill that out.
Hmm.
And then these will all sit, through the holes.
Yeah, I'm doing mine on 3 mil plastic styrene. I got plenty of it. I've got another 2 sheets here.
Yeah. Something felt pretty hot there. Of course, I'm using.
It cost me.
That'll just be on.
There's 3 sheets. It cost me $33. I wasn't going to leave that behind. Hey, Chuck.
No, man.
I wasn't going to leave it for $33 for that. I wasn't going to leave that behind, and I make good panels. It's a lot harder than the plastic is a lot harder than the Evergreen's plastic. It's a little
I'm
bit
gonna go
hard.
that route too. That's not a
What's
bad
that?
idea. The plastic. Originally, I thought about doing plexiglass with just doing tape lines on there, and then painting it and then pulling the tape off. Painting the back of the plexiglass is one color, taping out the all my rails,
Mm.
and then remove the tape on the front side. Paint that, and then the back side would be white, and the front side would be blue.
Yeah, but if you've got a good printer, it's like what I've done here on my switchboard. Let's see. Yeah, like what I've done here on my switchboard here. That's plastic with the printed paper over the top of it, stuck on it. I printed all the holes. But I done this quickly when I had before I had my surgery on my left shoulder. But now, because technically this is my yard. This is a yard here, so having the panel is going to make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And a signal that's going to be on the main line, I mean, they're really going to be automated anyway with the blocks. It's only in the stations and the yards that where I'll be flicking these switches. And on that big board that I'm doing, the switchboard, I'm going to have enough provision there to add the new regions to it in the later date. So that one board that I'm doing, it's not going to be just. I haven't muted the tape yet, but on this big board here, it's not just. I've got the station down here now, the engine facility, but I've got location for the new station, and if I have anything else on the side here, so it's just all on one panel.
I could probably do that. Like on this side of my layout here, it's not a big yard, but I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 switches. I probably could like put a board somewhere centered. You know, I think I have a couple of switches down there for the scrap yard and like 4 or 5 up this way. So I'll probably make a panel up here and then a small panel down there just for the scrap yard, you know. Something like that. I want it to look neat, or either that or I'll just do it right on the fascia. I just want things to look nice and neat, you know.
Yeah, same here.
A little more professional than it was last time around. So just depends.
Yeah, I want to try to get this done looking a lot better than what I used to. And have at least something that's finished.
So I think what I need to do is I probably need to just start maybe pairing up some of these LEDs. You know what I mean? The way they need to be wired.
Yeah.
And then
once you work out a system.
Why is this hot? I keep feeling something hot. I got going something hot over here.
You're probably your wires making it go hot. The LED will get hot. You've got to take that into account too. And a lot of times, this is why I don't like using too much of the thin wire, the single strand. I find them get too hot.
It's right down in here. One of these getting hot.
Yeah. Because
right here with these resistors here.
Those resistors will get hot. But you got to think of the wires like your hose, for example. You know, you got thin wire that's actually in those LEDs could be drawing too much power, or vice versa, and it'll get hot. That's why I prefer to use the multi-strand. It's a little bit thicker than those wires. This one's just a little tad thicker.
Yeah.
But my LEDs and my electrical work, I know won't get too hot. Yeah.
All right, I might have to rethink that a little bit.
Because have a think.
This is my experiment here. It's kind of warm.
Yeah.
This side ain't warm. Just this one.
Is that where the resistor is? Is that where the resistor is?
Well, I got resistors on all 4 legs.
That's fine.
We went back and forth the other day. You were saying put them just on the middles. Rick and I think Jason were saying to put them on all the legs.
I'll just put mine in the middle. What's your main voltage? What's the main voltage it's working off?
Right now I got it all hooked. These are probably 12 volts.
12 volts.
It's going to be hooked up to a 12 volt, like a bus line is where I'm going to run these tortoises and that off of. So,
yeah.
Maybe these resistors aren't big enough. That just has to do with brightness, though, right?
Yeah. If you put a bigger resistor, it'll double brightness down. The bigger the value, the double they're up. The lower the value, the brighter they will be. If that makes sense.
I'm okay with that brightness. I don't think that's too blaring. I don't know if you could tell. I got to get a better camera that zooms.
Oh, I want one too.
It's a good camera. I like this camera. It's a Logitech or whatever, but I need something that I could zoom in. This is as close as I could get, unless I get like way up here. Or if I bring the camera way in. If I bring the camera in, then it's got to sit on the workbench, and it's taking up room on the workbench. So
yeah.
Or I could put it right here. I could put it here on top of the, right on top of the laptop. I mean, it is a webcam. I have it on a stand over there.
Yeah, but for me, they're just too expensive. Yeah, but you see, when you're doing your wiring, I mean, really for 12 volts, that type of wiring, from my experience and from what I was told by someone that worked in the aviation industry, they're too thin. They're too thin. Right, you really want to go. You really want to have something a little bit thicker. Stay with it, but just be aware of it's going to be always. It's always going to have heat in it because you got the
Well,
power
here's the
being
thing, these are
dragged
always
in
gonna
a
be,
little
these are always
small.
gonna be, well, these are always gonna be on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, well, when the
yeah,
layout's on, I'm not gonna be on if I'm not down here,
yeah,
but when the layout's on, these lights are always gonna be on the
yeah,
panel.
yeah. And they're
This is just,
sucking the
this
power
is
through
just
that
telling me
little
what,
wire.
what direction. So when you look
Yeah,
at the panel, you know which directions, straight, which directions diverging.
yeah, I know. But what's
Here's
happening
my,
is like you got your thick wire going into your thin wire. It's like you're just sucking through a straw. You got the big end on the bottom and the small end on the top. Power works the same way. And as hard as you suck, of course, you're going to start heating up the more you suck the power in. That's what's happening there with those resistors and those light bulbs with that small wire. And you'll find near the tip of that wire is where it's getting hot, and everything else is going to go hot, and that wire is going to get that hot that it's just going to go brittle and break.
yeah. All right, so here,
Yeah.
I have to see what I want to do there, but so I used 2, 3, and 4. Now, what would I use 5, 6, and 7 for? Because you have to run a signal light on or something like
You
that.
can use that on a signal later on down the track or whatnot. You can use it as a
that
spare.
signal, I'd probably have to wire this. Like when I throw this switch, these are going to throw on the board. If I
Yeah.
wanted a signal to throw, like just a little dwarf signal or something, like on the layout itself, can I use these here for that?
Yeah, or you can jump it off from that what you got there now.
Jumping right off of these?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You can jump it off that same connection. Unless you can have it unless you want to have an on and off switch somewhere.
I bought these little off Amazon or off eBay. It's these little dwarf signals. I have to pull them out, you can't see them. I guess I'm going to call it a dwarf signal because I don't know what the hell else to call it, but it's got a little stand. Of course, I don't know how you do the backing on it, just a little tiny.
Yeah, the
signal,
dwarfs.
right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about, setting them next to the track, like say, like in that yard. So yeah, okay, I threw it here, but if you're not looking at the panel, you look at the track and say, okay, well, this is going, I don't know how that would work, but you know what I mean? And they just came with the single red and the single green, so it would only be lit up. I'd have to put one on each leg,
Yeah. Yeah. You can just do that exactly the same way as what you got on that what's going to be on your panel. You can actually take the wires off from that. It'll make it easier, unless you want to have an on and off switch for those signals.
So I just tie it into this stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be kind of neat. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. You can, CV. Yeah, you can put a few.
What is it?
With the we're just talking about the voltage, as I was trying to explain to you how the resistors and everything else, how it's dragging and stopping the power and everything else that's going through the wire that's making it hot for you. But I mean, yeah, you can do that if you want to control the signals, so you can see which way it's set from the distance and still looking at your panel. Then yeah, wire it directly. Otherwise, you can do it through a switch as well.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
No, I mean, if I could throw these so that they show which direction on the panel and then have those sitting there next to the track on the layout, just like in my yards, just for my own.
Doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, if you want to do exactly the same thing as what your panel is doing, just take your wire. Sounds like Randall needs a bit of greasing and oiling.
It's a coal train leaving the depot already.
Yeah, right. It sounds like you're the one that's moving in your chair. like the old Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz.
Really,
I'm
really
actually
saying
here
it's
at
a
the
little too
yard. There's
bright.
actually a train just now leaving the yard here.
I see some.
What? That second motor was one of the really old Aces SD78s. It was the ISO cab version. It had the old style cab on it, or the older
Oh,
cab, I should
okay.
say.
Don't see too many of them, right? I don't know. I mean, he always saying if we think that those LEDs are a bit bright, I don't think they are too bright. I reckon they're all right. It's just that these cameras don't give it the right perspective of how bright they are.
We'll find out here in a minute what kind of DPUs is on the rear. They should be coming by here in the next minute or so.
I don't think it's going to be too bright because I'm going to have these
In fact,
little,
I hear them, so
yeah,
there they are.
I'll be able to show you little collars that go into the board.
Actually, I don't think they will be too bright. I mean, if you're gonna, unless you're going to be doing nighttime running, that's not going to be too bright.
I don't think so.
No, that's going to be right. No, it was just the illusion that the camera was giving. Yeah, red is, but all reds are bright.
I could put a bigger resistor on them, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
I was basically just trying to get, the idea of how to do the damn thing.
Now you got
Get it to work. You know what I mean? So now I just got to tweak it and make it work right, I guess.
Well, what would you call like an ideal brightness for those control panels?
I don't know how you would say it. Like I'm running off to run off a 9-volt. I use a 360K brightness, and it gives me like a half brightness on it.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with SSL signal logic.
I
want to go with JMRI, as well. I mean, I'm trying to wire things up as I go so that I can go that route and be able to operate and do things through JMRI.
You see, won't you be able to do that anyway, Dave?
What's that?
I mean, eventually you'll be able to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Running a JMRI, but I mean, this is basically doing the basics first, and then JMRI will read it down the track anyway.
Yeah, he said that's pretty good. I think the brightness is fine. It probably just looks brighter because they're just standing there by themselves, And once I get it into that panel, you're not going to see the whole side. You're only going to be seeing the top of it, really. So,
but see, this is what CV says. I mean, that's the best way you discussing the brightness, Randall. If you, I can't highlight it. If you look at them and it doesn't bother your eyes, they're fine.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense because you don't want to burn your eyeballs out looking at it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm fine with it. I know what you mean, though. I've seen LEDs that are so bright that they blind you.
Yeah, you have a look at these new high definition bright LED headlights that you get in the cars, and especially those idiots that are driving around with those fog lights on when it's not raining or anything like that. They blind you. They burn your eyes.
Oh yeah. I mean, driving here in these road crew vans, I meet 18-wheelers and cars that have these headlights, and they're just blinding, and they're on low beam. I mean,
yeah. I mean, around here, it's actually illegal for you to drive around with fog lights on when it's not rain or on fine weather. Not that the police are really following it that much, but they should, because it's just so blinding. And the road codes are standard saying no dazzling headlights, but they do have them. Now, if you're doing like what I intend to do later on down the track, which I'm going to have to somehow work out how to do it. If you're going to do night ops on your layout, you need to dim the lights down, your LEDs down a little because they will be overpowering.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And when you've got your lights on, you just brighten up again. Same as like your clock radio or your clock on your car. When you turn your headlights on, everything dulls down.
Well, yeah. You don't want to take away from the lights on the layout by the lights on the boards and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because let me put some more lights on mine. It's going to look good when I do night ops. I want to do night operations on mine. Gives you a different perspective.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either.
Be good with it. Hey, Jerry, you look good with the passenger.
What's that?
You look good with the passenger trains, you know, because I've got a fair few passenger trains. It's actually going to look good when you've got the passenger train coming through with the carriages with the lights on, especially the coaches.
Yeah, that is true. That's why I'm trying to light all those coaches I have.
Well, you know this. Well, you know these lighters that I've got, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ideal for you to throw into your Amtrak coaches. You can try the lights individually, and it's already got with your DCC. It's already got that a rectifier in, like where you don't have to worry about converting your AC to DC. It's all in that little. I mean, when you look at it, it's only small. It's only small, and you just solder your wire. Like I've got this black clip. You just solder your light wires into that. Where the black cable is. I mean, they are designed for lighting your passenger cars.
Oh, that could work.
You give your car the address, and you can control your lights from your NCE unit.
What are you talking about, like CV Railroad? Are you talking about like LED strip lighting, like to light the layout with? Red, green, blue lights?
Yeah. They're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen pictures of Gary's layout. I don't know if he's done a whole lot on it lately or not, but yeah. Okay, yes, he said that's what he's talking about. Yeah. In fact, I like that idea. I may do that like underneath the between the levels. Underneath underneath the second level to light the lower level, just to make it look like different times of day.
Yeah.
That too. That's pretty cool.
I was looking at them. I was looking at those strips of Jake. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, and looking at the colours they give out, and I'm just looking at it. It'll be. Oh, I better get to bed in a minute. The way I was looking
at pretty soon. It's already 10:30 almost. Jeez, guys.
You can mix the two colours you get two different colours of them. Have one on one side and another one on the other side. Look, what as I'm going to have like a batten board up on the side here. I have one colour on one side, another one on this side, and because you get that orangey purpley look at sunset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said the blue looks like nighttime.
Yeah. Have you seen?
Do you actually have any? Jerry, do you actually post anything on like a YouTube channel or anything? Or do you Facebook? What do you post on?
Actually, there is a girl.
Seems like I haven't seen anything for a long time from you. Might not be getting notifications, could be. Yeah.
That Tina from Mojave Desert
Oh yeah,
Railroad,
yeah.
you know, so when she was on Heath's channel today, she's actually done a night scene
Hmm.
on her land, and it came out pretty good.
She does.
And she's using the faded blue. I mean, she's dulled down the blue. It's not as bright, but it gives that blue tinge like a full moon on the layout,
Mhm.
and it really comes up good.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you just shut the lights off in the room and try to go as a night scene like that. You know, you're not going to get any kind of details show up or anything. And you know what I mean? You need some
It
kind
all
of light.
depends. Yeah, but it all depends on what's. Yeah, you're not going to see too much lighting, but it also depends on how you do your street lighting and your lighting on your buildings and that too, because that can make an effect too.
Well, true, but you still want that like you said, like that moonlight or something. Because even on a really dark night, you still have some kind of light. It's some type of light, you know.
Yeah, but
Um,
mind you
throw
always take
shadows and stuff.
yeah, unless it's a completely blackness like what we get down here. At times, it gets pitch black. But yeah, you always adjust to the darkness that's around you if you're out there constantly.
Yeah, you do. You adjust to it. Your eyes dilate.
But you go on the US. But you go to the US at night time. You guys got light pollution. So much light pollution. That they call light pollution because you get all that glare from all your cities and that. That actually gives that brightness over in your country.
Yeah, you really got to get out into the country to get away from that.
You see, NASA comes down over here quite a fair bit here over here in Australia into our centre here to do the stargazing that at nights.
Yeah,
because we don't have that light pollution. We don't have the glare where it takes away all the definition of the planets and the stars and whatnot.
that makes sense. How about these like LED fixtures? Like it was I think Ron Strange and Things used them. And I think even Eric from I am RRO or whatever that guy is.
Yeah.
He used the same ones. So I picked those up. I was going to use them, behind the valance for the layout lighting, but I'm thinking I might go more like you guys are talking. ARS hobby. I've never been to ARS hobby now. Oh, L's. Yeah, L's. Swear to God, I need new glasses. So stupid. Yes, I've been to. No. L's hobby. Where's that at? I've been to Rob's over in Alliance. Gary. I think it's called Rob's. L's. Is L's in Bedford Heights? Is that the one over here by me?
I'm actually quite glad that I'm with you at this time now because Creepy's not watching that in a moment. I don't know if he's aware, but I'll be able to go up to his place. He's got a hobby shop up there, and if he keeps sending this bad weather at me, I'm going to throw rocks at his house. Is that the moment I can't go there until Monday?
Gary, I have been over to Al's. Al actually fixed the pins in my plug for my controller on the one power cab I had. I had some bent pins, and he fixed it for me. So, yeah, he's got a nice little shop there. I haven't been there in a little while, though.
Yeah,
Are you heading up there anytime soon? Gary? Gary is ELS DP 45, sorry.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's your Lackawanna SDP 45. I wonder if that's the one they were rebuilding, the old Conrail one. It was Conrail or something. They were restoring it. That's the one that Athearn Genesis did one, that they were taking some of the proceeds from it to go towards the restoration of it.
Right.
Sale of the model. Catherine was putting it, like, donating some of that.
Okay.
Friday,
Yeah, I've got to go
tomorrow
up to
Friday,
see.
or are you going next Friday, Gary? Because I'm off next Friday. I might be able to meet you over there. I work tomorrow, if that's what you mean.
I've got to go to my Dakota Black on Tuesday. I've got to get another switch it because I've got one that failed on me.
You
So
know,
I've
I
got to
didn't think the switch it would work with this, with something.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
I thought I had to have this switch 8 or the switch. Yeah.
You got
Didn't
this.
have to be
You got
switch 8, but the other one
no.
is
You got the
single.
switch 8 where you can do 8, right? And the switch at Mark II does 2 switches. If you only got 2 switches in one area, that's all you
No,
need.
I
You need a
know
little
that.
like that.
Oh, I was thinking of the switch cat. Never mind.
Yeah.
Switch cat is for Cato or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I originally bought
Yeah.
the switch cat mistakenly, and I had to send it back and get the switch. I ended up getting the switch 8 instead of the switch it because I figured I was going to use it in that yard that I'm working on. So I figured, well, I'd just keep everything condensed into that board there, you know. I have, I think, 7 switches over there. I'll put them all on the one board. You know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
having all these little ones everywhere. That was
Yeah.
my thinking, anyways. But now I'm hearing I could do something similar with the mini panel. Or no, not for the switches. The
Yeah,
mini
you can do
panel's
that
for
with the switches.
communications. I don't know.
No,
I
you won't be able
understood
to
it
do every
Tuesday.
piece.
Listen, when we were talking about it Tuesday night with Rick, I thought I understood it. Then as soon as I woke up the next day, I was like, damn. No, how does that work again? Because I don't have it physically here. I'm not working with it. You know what I mean?
Have you had a look at his channel? Have you seen it on his channel?
Yeah, I watched it once. I'm gonna wait. I ordered a mini panel just this morning, actually, before I came out. I was doing that. So I'm going to go back and watch that and work on doing it all, you know, while I have it in my hand. Sometimes that's better for me.
I'll watch
Next
it.
Friday, you going over there, Gary? I think I still have your information to get a hold of you somewhere. I don't know though. Let me do this.
I'll watch it about 3-4 times, and if you're doing your work there as you're soldering and whatnot, and doing a bit of fiddly work, the monotonous work, just put it on the background and listen to it, and it will sink into your head. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary, I threw my email up there. Do me a favor, email me your number or your contact information, something, and I'll text you or whatever. Maybe we can meet up. Hope he's in front of the. Oh, Al. No, Al's a good guy. At least I was in there once or twice, and he is a very personable. He sat and talked to me, tried to explain some things. I had questions. He answered my questions. I didn't even really need anything. But like I said, he looked at my power cab and everything for me right then and there. I brought it with me. I called him first. He told me to bring it with me. And very nice guy. And Rob over in Alliance he's the kind of guy, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like his dad owned the shop and then he took it over when the dad retired or passed away. And I don't know, he almost seems annoyed by you that you're there. Now, maybe it's just the way I took them, you know, maybe sometimes I just take people differently, maybe. Because there are people that go in there and just shoot the shit with them, you know what I mean? But I'm like a newcomer, so maybe it takes a while for them to warm up to you. And I don't live that close to that shop. This other shop, Al's place, is a lot closer to my house. It's maybe 15 minutes or so. The other place is about an hour or about 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't go there that often. But Alliance is a cool place to rail fan. It's on the Norfolk Southern line. There's an Amtrak line right there. It's the, I think, Fort Wayne, Pittsburgh line. It's Norfolk Southern, something like that. So you get some You get some traffic in there. I've taken some video from there and put it on my channel. Yeah, from
Yeah,
Alliance,
that'd be good.
Ohio.
Hey,
I
we
do want to
went.
go over there in Bedford in that area. There is a Norfolk Southern yard not too far south of that area. So I wouldn't mind seeing if we can get in there and get sort of close to see it. You know, I don't know how close you can actually get to the yard and rail fan it. You got to watch that stuff. They get in trouble. But anyways, I know it's kind of off on a tangent, but
From what
yes,
I'm
in my
hearing,
opinion, Gary, he is nicer than the guy out there in Alliance, Rob.
Yeah, well, I'm going up this one Blake to get my NCE components. I don't really like going there. I can't wait 3 weeks for the components come from the US, so I've got to go up there. His wife's running it at the moment, and it's like she's trying to flog me off stuff that I don't really want.
Mhm.
And that's one thing I don't like. I know what I want. I've got an idea what I want when I go there, and she's like, "Oh no, you might be better off this one here." It's like, come home with it, and it's like, no, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah.
And to get to her, get to that store, it's like an hour and 3/4 to get there, or something. And depending on traffic, now the schools are back. It's 2 hours to get there, and
Oh,
2 hours
man.
back. An
Yeah.
hour and a school, that's half a day gone.
Yeah. I can see that being annoying.
Yeah. But when I go to Joe's, he's a bit closer. He's in Liverpool. He's a tad closer. He's just on the end of the freeway. Might be the longest period I know what I'm going in there. He just leaves me go in the shop, makes a cup of coffee at times, and have a bit of a chit chat, and I'm gone out. But he doesn't try to flog me off something different that I'm actually thinking of.
Yeah. Being helpful is one thing, but trying to sell you some shit you don't need,
Yeah.
things like that. And if you go in somewhere and you're not really sure what you're looking for, what you're doing, per se, then that's even worse. Like that, don't try to, screw me over like that because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to make a living, so.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's hard to compete with the online stores, especially, but I don't know what you're supposed to do.
It does. It does at times, but a lot of times it all depends on your customer service too, and how you treat your customers when you walk in the door. I mean, yes, you get tire kickers and people that waste your time, but when you got people that come in there and spend $400, $500, $600 a visit on average, you don't go, yeah, g'day, how are you?
I'm trying to think, Gary. He does carry, I want to say Digitrax and stuff like that. He does have some stuff there. I actually think he's more along those lines than like decoders and stuff. Then, give him a call. Ask him if he has what you're looking for. Call the store. That was real nice. I was looking for something the one day. He didn't have any in stock, and I needed it quicker than he can get it in. By the time he would have got it in, I was able to get it online, like through Amazon or something, like the next day. So I didn't get it from him. I felt kind of bad, but it was something, I can't remember what it was now, but it was something I needed, I wanted a lot sooner.
Well, I was looking at some of those signals that you had there, Dave. For a backup signals for the time being to get them back here in time. Amazon reckons they won't get here till later on in December.
Oh, really?
That's no good for me. I want them down here within a week or two.
Yeah, those, I think I got those from China or something. It wasn't through Amazon. So
well, they look like
they took a while. One of the LED lighting that I bought some bicolored, the 2-leg ones, the 2 prongs.
Yeah.
I thought I would want to use those instead, but I feel like the 3-prong are just as easy to understand.
So, it's a lot easier. Honestly, they're a lot easier at the end of the day. Because it's go back to the simple, basic, you can say, house wiring system.
Yeah.
You know, like,
So that's what I'm gonna go with is the 3s, but it took a while to get those from China. Yeah, I guess probably not too bad considering they came from there, but took a couple
Well,
weeks or so, which isn't
I
not too bad really, I guess. Because it depends what you order from there, because anything has to come by ship, you're not gonna get. They can
Well,
fly it. You know.
did I give you that link to that site where I go to from in China? I'll have to send it to you. Probably the same mob. But they send their stuff email to me.
Yeah.
I put the order in yesterday. Yeah, not yesterday. I put my order in on Wednesday night. Okay.
Yeah.
And Thursday afternoon after lunch, it's already been dispatched. It's already on its way.
Oh, that's nice.
Now their estimated time arrival was 23rd of December, but it's already left the country. By the time
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it
already
probably won't
left
take
the
that
country.
long.
It's on the plane coming over.
Yeah. You know what I need to do? I need to do some cleaning. There's so much crap laying around here.
I'm gonna wait till I finish all my soldering and everything else, and then I'm gonna do a clean up on this table.
Yeah, I think I might do that too. I was going to try to get this board up and running, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just do some basic wiring on like these edge connectors. I
Yeah.
get my power wires on, and then I'll go ahead and I'll do 3, two, 3, and 4.
Take care, Lee. Yeah, well, I'm just prepping everything.
Get some of that stuff prepped. Maybe work on getting
Yeah.
some of the LEDs kind of connected. I'm not going to connect them as tight as the ones I just did. I'm going to add some wire to make a little bit longer connections, so they're not so snug together.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to do something with them. This way, when I get this board up and running, I can just kind of plug and play them. You know,
Yeah.
kind of what I was doing here. I'll get these toggles wired up with some wires. I can just screw them in when I'm ready to get going with it. I can always shorten the wires once I get it in.
That's right. It's good. See, I'm just going to use some of these, and
I got to order
I'm
some of
making
those.
I just got to use some of these. And okay, now where's the other one? I know it's here underneath my mess. I think I showed it to you guys before. That'd be right. It's gone. They're going into hiding when I want to show them off.
Oh, I know. I get the same problem. What do I do with those toggles?
Oh, here it is. It's under the wire, buried under the wires. Yeah. Then I'm going to make up another one of these to hook up all my wires in the central point. I'm going to split this up to me positive and me negative. Right, I can switch these out to me positive and negative.
No, what is that thing? Hold on.
I made this myself. Right? I bought these from JCar, these terminal blocks.
And
it's
is
printed
like an online electronics store or something? You mention it all the time. Is that a...
You can get this online as well. It's an Australian electronics shop. It'd be like Radio Shack or Tandy's, right?
Okay, but that's something more local to you guys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They'll ship to you guys there as well. And I just get one of these printed circuit boards, work out which one's going to be my negative trace and which one's going to be my positive trace, and I just make it up myself.
See, that stuff, all that stuff I want to learn. I need to learn how to do those boards. I don't know.
These are already printed.
The boards are printed?
Yeah, they're already printed out. This is how you buy them. This is one board.
What did you add those screw terminals in that to it or what?
Yeah, I just soldered these screw terminals. They come up. Where is it? They come like this. You push them in the hole.
Yeah.
You push them in the hole to your circuit that you want to work on. You got to be careful because you don't short it out. You work it out the print. This just feeds through the hole. The tip's gone in. There it is there. And just solder it on. Now, I do have another board.
You solder it from underneath.
Yeah. And you use that as
So
your...
now what do you, is there certain ones you have to plug that into? You're going to bring power in somewhere, and then you're going to feed power out somewhere else.
Yeah, I've got different colours. I've got the already coloured ones. And this is all just me negatives. All my black wire goes to this. Then I've got another lot that I've got different terminal strips on different coloured terminal strips, as well as the blue. One's me positive, one's me negative. And it's all in a one spot. I've got a couple of these underneath my layout.
I must have missed what you said in the beginning. What is going?
Say, I want to do my...
What are you putting into that?
My feeds, power feeds, my power feeds for my switches or whatever I want to do to it. It's like a terminal block. Instead of having a whole heap of these,
yeah,
right? I can double the capacity or triple the capacity by when I make one of these up. Because you only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 each side, 24. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I can have over 30 plus connections on this. What have I got here? 2. This one's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 on that side. So I can put the 18 on. Hang on, let me get rid of this thing. I've got 18 on one side and get another 18 on the other side. And that's a lot more than a strip, and it's a lot cheap, but just as cheap. It doesn't take long to put together. And they do also have other circuit boards where you can actually make your own little circuitry on it as well, which I will do for my lighting for my rant house. So I can actually put all my resistors and that on the board and just take the wires from here to the rant house or from here to the switch.
Yeah.
I'll show you when I get it done up. I've already got it worked up in my head how it's going to look. And this is just going to sit on the bottom of the board. All my feeds and whatnot for the switches and whatnot will go into this. Be like a distribution box, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah, well, it's basically, it is. And it's almost the same as that, the other unit that I bought. Like this thing. Well, this one's a voltage reducer, voltage regulator. This one. Is that they've actually dropped the price on this, so they're about $17 Australian at the moment, which is about $14 each American. These.
Yeah, I'm back up set off right now.
You adjust it from 12 volts down to 3 volts. I'm going to try this in the town, see how it goes. Yeah. Oh, you get to work it out when you start playing with it, whatnot. I know, like with electronics, with myself, it can get addictive once you get yourself into a momentum. So
No,
to
I mean,
speak.
I'm excited to get this, to learn this because I want to, get, obviously know it and get better at it.
Yeah. I'll have to show you how I'm going to do how I'm going to prepare everything for the rant house, because there's going to be a bit involved with the lighting on that and on the switchboard as well, because I can wire up the LEDs on the switchboard and then control the lights inside the actual rant house itself. Yeah. Anyway, Dave, I'm going to cut it short, but I'm starting to yawn. I'm going to better go and get some beauty sleep, so I don't become a grumpy old fart on a Friday. Thanks
All
for
right,
having
well, I
me.
appreciate you coming in. I'm going to cut out of here too, I think.
Yeah. Take care, Randall.
Yeah,
On
good
for 2
talking with you
hours.
guys. Enjoyed the stream. You guys have
Thanks,
yourselves a
appreciate
good
it.
one. Yep.
I'll be on Saturday your time. What was it? 11 o'clock my time, so it's 11, 10, 9, 8 o'clock at night your time.
What's that,
On
Saturday night?
Saturday
Maybe on Saturday night.
night.
Yeah, because I got to work Sunday, Halloween, so I won't be
Oh, you
able to
full
join in
baby.
I won't be able to join on with you.
Yeah, all right. No problem. And you guys go now back, don't you? Next week, don't you?
No, November. Let me see what it is.
Because the clocks go back and out.
I want to say the 7th. Could be wrong.
So it's a week, yeah. It's usually after Halloween you guys go back
November
another hour.
7th. It'll be the next week.
Yeah,
No,
okay. So
not this Sunday, but next Sunday we go back.
yeah. Yeah, so that means that following Saturday you guys will be, so it's 11, 10, 9, 11, 10, 9, 8. So that work at 7 o'clock at night your time. From Saturday and finishes, yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Sounds good. Gary, send me an email if you haven't already, and let's figure out if we can meet up maybe next Saturday or whatever. That might be fun. I haven't seen you in a couple years, man. When we met up at Stewart's Hobbies. So.
Yeah. All right, mate. I'm going to clock off. I better get some sleep. So,
Right.
everyone, take care of yourselves. See you on the weekend.
Okay. Thanks, Artie. Let's see. Well, guys, I do appreciate all the comments. I mean, I know maybe I sound like a broken record with this stuff, but towards internal switches. Okay. But sometimes it just helps me to talk it over again and again. I like a broken record, but at the same time, sometimes I learn better that way, I guess. That's what I'm hoping, anyways. But all right, I am gonna take off though because we've been on 2.5 hours almost, so I should get something done. It's a nice day. I got some yard work to get done with this fall weather. Break up all the leaves. I'd rather do it on my day off during the week than do it on the weekend when I'd rather spend time with the family. So, anyways, thanks again. And I'll catch you next week, same time, 8:30. And cool. Yeah, more talkative. Yeah, sorry I wasn't as talkative earlier on. Hey, Derek, I don't even know. I must have missed you in there. When I get to working on stuff, I forget to talk. So sorry about that. So, all right. That's it. That's enough for one day. Enough of my yapping. Talk to you guys later. Thanks again. Bye for now.